The Battle of the Birds and the Beasts by Jade Maitre. Once upon a time, there were only birds and beasts who lived on the earth. And what an earth it was! The 7 continents were covered in forests as thick and deep as dreams. It was entangled with wild plants and fruits, mountains and rivers, fresh winds from snowy places, and warm winds from lush tropics. Sun and rain met and mingled on vast sandy plains, in fruitful valleys and over fresh coasts. There was enough of everything for everyone to live long and happily, so long as they could share. Yet despite this plenty and beauty and space, the birds and the beasts dwelled in uneasy peace. The birds thought themselves better than the beasts. Their feathers were every colour of the rainbow, bright as delight and daydreams. And they could soar, broad-winged, through clouds and air currents, far above the pitiful creatures who crawled along the soil. Yet the beasts, in turn, knew themselves to be thick and strong. They could bear loads and topple trees and clash with the force of falling trees and thunder. It was for that reason that they thought themselves better. The beasts looked at the birds, their wispy feathers, crooked feet and hollow bones, and thought them weak and flitting. Now, despite their mutual dislike, neither bird nor beast lifted paw nor claw to hurt the other, until one day a single grain of wheat was dropped in a grassy meadow. Who had dropped it? No one knew. But who owned it? That was a to-do. The birds said it had obviously come from the sky. The beasts said it was found on the ground. Both claimed ownership of the single grain of wheat and argued many nights and days. Soon their voices grew shrill and they began to jostle one another. A wing was slapped, some canines snapped. A great hulking wildebeest soon cried, "Let the creatures who are the most strong prove to the other that they are wrong." Now the enraged birds assembled in the sky. They blotted the sun with swift wings and swarming bodies. They teamed in shapes designed to prompt fear in the land-bound beasts. There were sharp arrows, towers, and radial explosions which danced across the sky, all composed of the tapestry of furious rooks. Then the eagles led the charge, talons flaring, swooping in a hunting strike. But here came the beasts, led by wolves and foxes who snapped their jaws at the screeching birds. Behind them came bison who crushed them and bears who smothered them. The earth rumbled with footfall, beak peck, growls, barks, and the piercing cries of Eclectus. From the treetops, hosts of owls kept watchful gaze on the battle. Every few moments they silently sailed to the waiting falcons, where they strategized together through the medium of the birds with voices, cut-tongue crows and parakeets. From branch hollows and mossy nooks, tiny mice reported to elephants, who stampeded. For 100 days and 100 nights, the war tore the land asunder. Forests were shredded, mountains scattered, flowers mangled. Rivers ran red. The lush lands were trampled to dust. Still, the battle of the birds and the beasts did not stop. When the hot breath of the jaguar lit the dry brush of fire, the pelicans fanned it with their wings. The smoke rose. Soon the sun itself grew dim beneath the thick clouds of fumes. Finally, when both sides were too weak to continue, they paused to take stock of what they had done. The trees that had housed the baby birds for generations were ripped from the earth. The bushes that had fed the beasts were shorn of their leaves, now only fragments of inedible ash. The rivers where both bird and beast had once bathed, which had delivered them with crystal clean rushing waters, were now polluted with mud and carcasses. No birds sang. They were dead or exhausted. No majestic herds grazed the fields. Everything was dust. One lone sparrow, who had not wanted to fight, craned its neck from where it had hidden and cried, "Who has won?" But there was no answer. The end.
Storyberries.